But I guess the most important thing that I need to do is I need to tell you my perspective of what happened that night. So here's the story. There's a backstory context that needs to be explained and understood. I was going through a divorce. In between moving out of the place that me and my ex-wife were living in, uh, I moved out first, and then she moved out. It got to the point where we could no longer live in the same house. We hadn't decided that we were going to get a divorce, but I knew the day that I left that we were going to be getting a divorce. So I got a new apartment, but my apartment, the one because I'm very particular, wouldn't be ready for a week. So for that week, I moved into my parents' house. Figured it'd just be a week that I would stay there. I could commute back and forth to go to work. Wasn't that big of a deal. My new apartment was going to be on the other side of town, so I wouldn't run into my ex-wife. But let's just say that I was less than thrilled about going through a divorce. Divorce is never easy. There's embarrassment and there's a sense of failure. And somebody like me, who really doesn't like to fail, the divorce was challenging emotionally and extremely humbling. And then having to be at the house with my parents and my brother and sister uh, was difficult because, as we said in the last episode, I don't really open up and express vulnerability. But they knew that I was going through a tough time, but I wasn't talking about it. So I'm holding a lot of things inside. My brother, being the wonderful person that he is, we talk a lot of ish about my brother. But one thing that he is somebody that you can count on when you're going through something very difficult. So my brother, it was the weekend coming up. This weekend before I was going to move into my new place. So I'm still staying at the house. I don't move in until I think Sunday. So Friday night he said, "Hey, why don't we go into the city?" Because my parents live in Upper Montgomery County, or that house was in Upper Montgomery County. My brother said, "Hey, when we go into the city, go to your favorite club, have a good time." I said, "Okay, cool." He said, "The whole thing is on me." I said, "On you?" "Okay, yeah, let's go." So we go into the city. We take the metro into the city. We come back that night, taking the metro back. And anybody that knows the Washington, D.C. area in Upper Montgomery County, we literally have to take the metro to the last line on the red line, which is Shady Grove Metro, and then drive to my parents' house. But we figured that ride, because the metro takes so long, we would sober up because it was going to take at least an hour. On this particular night, like most nights on the DC Metro, it was running on a single track. So that meant that the ride was exceptionally long. A lot of drunk people on the metro. And the metro, my brother told me, because he rode the metro oftentimes coming back to the city, is it's like your last chance to get some macking, right? Like you see a group of people, you go, you a bunch of young ladies or a bunch of young men, you want to step to or talk to, that's what you do on the metro. I'm not really engaging in all of that because I'm still technically, we hadn't decided that we were getting divorced, but we moved out. Like, you're getting a divorce, but I'm loyal and I'm married, so I'm not hollering at anything. So we see a young lady. She's all by herself, clearly intoxicated, and she's sitting on the metro. And a young man came up to her and started talking to her, not thinking anything of it. You metro pimping. So we get to one stop, and it's like 4 stops before Shady Grove, but there was some work that needed to be done on the track. So they prepared a shuttle from one metro station to the next metro station where we could get back on the train to get to the Shady Grove metro station. And just about everybody that was on that train was heading towards either one of the last 3 stops, like Rockville or Shady Grove. So when we get to this metro station that we have to take the shuttle, we see that the young lady is getting off the metro with the man. "Hey, they parking lot pimping. Do your thing." The only problem is that one group, the group that's going to the shuttle, which was just about everybody, is going in one direction to go catch the shuttle. And her and this gentleman that she just met are going in another direction towards the exit. And me and my brother are watching this, and my brother was like, "This doesn't look good." And I said to him, like, "Yeah, this is just what I was thinking. This doesn't look good." He said, "Maybe we should follow them to see where they're going because she's intoxicated." I said, "Yeah, let's do that." Credit to my brother. He ran ahead of me to catch up with them. When I finally caught up with them, he says, "Bruce, she's supposed to be going to Boston." Let me explain what that means. Boston is on the orange line in Virginia. We're on the red line towards upper Montgomery County. Not only is it a different state, it's a completely different direction on the metro. There's no way to get to the Boston metro station on the red line. She didn't realize it because she was so drunk that she had headed in the wrong direction. So we find out that the guy had offered to give her a ride home. And I looked at him and I said, because we're in Maryland at this point, I said, "You're going to drive her at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning from here all the way to Virginia?" And I asked her, I said, do you know this person? And she was like, "No, I just met him." And I said, "Hey, I'm going to be real honest with you. This doesn't look good. I don't know him, but I don't think that you should necessarily go with him. We can get off at this metro stop. The metro is basically closing, so you can't take the metro back. But we could go up on the platform and we could try and call and get you a taxi or something like that, because you're not heading in the right direction. And I don't trust that this person is going to look out for your best interest. This just doesn't look good." At that point, the young man is getting heated because essentially we're messing up his game. In my opinion, he had no intention to take her home. He was going to take her back to his place. So he's getting heated and he kind of lunges at my brother. Once again, take it to account the backstory. I'm going through a divorce. I'm not at the most emotionally stable point in my entire life. I am completely emotionally unstable and I'm trying to hold it together so those people close to me don't see what I'm actually going through. And he lunges at my brother. I don't remember what happens next. I literally read out, not blackout, read out. I've only read out twice in my life. A red out is when you just see a flash of red and you have no control. And I've only done that 2 or 3 times in my life. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.